it's Amy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to be sharing with you guys my review, some swatches, and comparison of the brand new LORAC 3 palette that launched. This is actually the LORAC Pro Palette 3 is what they've named it, and this is like the brand new nude and neutral and kind of rosy colored palette that is releasing. They did let Ulta members, if you were platinum last weekend on Saturday I believe, because it was my best friend's wedding and I had just gotten to her house when I got the email saying like we had early access. So of course I bought it right before we had to go in for hair and makeup, but I bought it so that I could share with you guys my thoughts and tell you guys how much I love this palette. That way you're prepared if you haven't picked it up already and are interested in purchasing it when it officially launches on June 12th online at Ulta Beauty, and then it will release in stores at Ulta on June 26th as well. So this is what the outer packaging looks like. You do get the Pro Palette 3, and then you also get a mini behind the scenes eye primer, which really doesn't add any value to me. It's not my favorite primer. I usually just throw it in a little drawer with like travel size primers like this if I have to use it, but it's not my preferred primer, so that's not a bonus to me or anything. And then on the back it does show you what the actual palette looks like, and these colors are pretty true to color to the actual palette, which is nice, so you get to see everything on the back. So then the palette looks identical to the packaging. This just really pretty nude, almost flesh colored packaging. This is identical to all the other LORAC Pro palettes, the first one and then the second one. So the kind of warm tone, neutral one, and then the cool tone one. Identical to it. I love the sleek packaging. It's tiny. It fits really nicely into your makeup collection. It's easy to travel with. It's sturdy. It's great. I love it. The back of it flips over. It's just so easy to use. My only complaint in general about the LORAC Pro palettes is that it kind of has that material, not quite like the NARS material, but very similar, where like fingerprints and everything gets on it. I've already had to wipe this down like 5 times since I had it and didn't want you guys to think I was a disgusting makeup monster. So mine looks pristine and like perfect right now, but trust me, you'll get makeup on it the second you use it, but it is really easy to wipe away. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, this is probably my favorite packaging. It's gorgeous and sleek and just so feminine and pretty. I love it. And let me start off by saying that I love this palette to death, and I love LORAC Pro palettes in general. Like, I have almost every single one of them. I will show you right now to justify it. Like, this formula and this palette is the same as all the other Pro palettes, and they are incredible. And they are definitely one of my favorites, or if not my actual favorite of eyeshadows out of all the makeup in the world. So that is why I have pretty much every single palette that LORAC Pro has come out with. I'm not really into like the regular stuff from LORAC. I definitely love all the Pro stuff. So I have the first 2 palettes, which I will do some comparisons later just to open them up and show you side by side what they look like. But I have the first LORAC Pro palette here. I have the second one. I have the LORAC Pro Mega 2 palette, and then I have one of the little tiny travel ones, which is really great. It just has a little trio. I love this. I do not have the second one. I believe they came out with a second one, which I need to pick up. And then I have these 2 little mini, I think they're 9-pan, yeah, or 8-pan palettes that came out, I think last summer or last fall. They have the all matte one, and then they have the metals, which are all their like shimmery foiled ones. They're their same shimmer shadows that are in the regular LORAC palettes, the long ones. Needless to say, I love LORAC so much. They're definitely one of my favorite eyeshadow brands out there. They're incredible. They perform so well alone, but they also perform really, really well if you use them wet, whether it be with a MAC Fix Plus, which is my favorite way, or any kind of makeup setting spray will work, and they just make the shadows even more pigmented and beautiful and amazing. So again, this is what the palette looks like. They're just a gorgeous array of colors. They're mostly all neutrals with a little bit of a rose gold theme to it, and then some browns, and they are just incredible. Now, a lot of people have been commenting on Instagram and YouTube and things like that, saying they think it's kind of similar or very reminiscent of the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, which I do not have in my collection, but looking at the 2 like online side by side, I think the Urban Decay palette is a little bit more rose and rose gold like tones in that palette, and definitely more pinky and rose colors, whereas this I find is a very, very neutral palette. It does have like a hint of rose gold kind of in these 3 shades right here, but the rest are very neutral. You have some beautiful browns, you have some darker purples over here, and then some brown shades and a black shade, and it's just amazing. This is like the ultimate like palette to me. For some reason, like, I got it, I was really excited, and the more and more I used it, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the best palette. Like, this is going to be, in my opinion, and hopefully it gets that way, is gonna be like how the Urban Decay Naked palette was when it first launched. I feel like that's how this palette is gonna be. Like, it's gonna be so versatile and amazing. and there's just so many things you can do with it, and it's just like the perfect everyday palette. Like I feel like I'm gonna be reaching for this like crazy when it comes to work and just throwing together a really pretty like everyday natural and neutral look for work. Like this is gonna be an amazing palette. Not to mention you get 8 shimmer shades and you get 8 matte shades in here, and they are the most incredible formula ever. The matte shades are so buttery, soft, and smooth, and not a lot of kick up with it. The shimmer shades have a little bit more kick up, but even then they are so smooth. The best way I can describe these eyeshadows is that they're so silky, in the sense that they literally just glide on your finger, and like there's hardly any fallout. There's one culprit in here that's really bad, but LORAC has one bad apple in every palette. Not that the pigmentation and the color is bad, they just have one that's like really bad with fallout and chunky and glittery, and so every palette has that, which I'll show you. But other than that, like they are so creamy and buttery and velvety and smooth and silky. Like they are probably the silkiest eyeshadows that you will find in a lot of palettes these days, and that's what I love, is that they literally are like one swipe, glide on your skin, beautiful pigmentation, and then on top of it they layer incredible, and they're just so beautiful. And then on top of that you could use a MAC Fix Plus or something and make them even more beautiful and intense. And so that's what I did with the look today. I went in, it was gorgeous, but I was like, you know what, I'm going on camera, let's spruce this up a little bit, and I put on some MAC Fix Plus, and I just think it is just gorgeous. I will show you a close-up in a little bit, but again, like I cannot rave enough about how amazing the formula is on LORAC's eyeshadows. Like they are just so incredible, and that's why I love the Pro line. So I definitely am a huge Pro fan. I love it, and this it's just like every other palette, and it's incredible. So I want to show you really quickly each of the Pro palettes next to each other. That way you can just kind of see the differences in case you have them all, or in case you're trying to decide which one you want. This is kind of what they look like, all three next to each other. You can see the original one is much darker, the one in the middle is much more cool tone, and the one on the right is much more neutral and just like kind of everyday wearable neutral natural browns and champagnes and colors like that. So you can see there's a huge difference, and there's definitely, you know, value in getting each one for a different reason. So it's not like if you already have the first two, you're going to be duplicating looks or colors and things like that. Now, out of all the LORAC palettes, I'd say the LORAC Pro Mega 2 is the closest to the LORAC 3. Even then, it's not like all 16 shades in here are in this Mega palette. But there are some similar ones, like Terracotta in here seems pretty similar to like a cross between Tawny and Burlap. Some Prosecco seems close to like Almond Pearl, so there's some similarities. But again, I still don't think it's like if you have this one would just be a complete duplicate. So just throwing that out there so you guys can see the difference between all of them. Alright, so now I'm going to zoom you guys up close so you can see the colors up close, and then I will go ahead and swatch them all for you a couple at a time as well. Alright, so here is what the gorgeous palette looks like up close. Like I said, you have some very like neutral champagne colors over here. It gets a little darker and a little bit of rose gold down here. And then you have some nice browns and blacks. So there's a lot of variety, and it's just a really great neutral palette. So let me go ahead and swatch a couple at a time for you. This first shade right here is Blanc, and this is a really great shade to kind of prime your eyelids, or if you go in with an eye primer to set it. And then next to it we have Canvas, which is kind of the same thing, just a little bit darker. This one is really great. This one is also, the first one I just showed you, really great for underneath the brow bone. And then we have Cool Taupe, which is a really great transition shade if you're a little bit darker, or a crease shade if you have light to medium skin like I do. So let's go ahead and swatch those. There's what those first three shades look like. The one in the middle, Canvas, is a little hard to tell just because it kind of matches my skin tone, but this is a fantastic one to start off with to set the eyes. I love that. So these three are really pretty. So then next to it, we have Pink Nude, and then we have Clay, and then Terracotta. Terracotta is such a beautiful kind of burnt brown shade. I love it so much. So there were those three shades. Again, that was Pink Nude, Clay, and then Terracotta. And then we have a dark brown shade, and then we have Jet Black, which is actually a really good black, and it's actually better than the first palette, the original one, which is just black. This one is Jet Black, so it does have better pigmentation. And then let's go down here, which is Truffle, which is a shimmer shade. such pretty dark colors right here for the crease. So there are those shades. Again, we had dark brown, jet black, and truffle. And then truffle is the first shimmer shade I'm going to be showing you, and the rest will all be shimmer. And this is kind of in between a gray and a black with a purple undertone with, of course, shimmer in there, and it's so pretty. So then right here we have dark mocha, and then we have rose bronze, and then amethyst. So there were those three colors. This one is dark bronze. Then we had rose bronze. And then we have amethyst, which I love amethyst. Amethyst is my birthstone, so I tend to like it just because of that reason, and because I tend to gravitate towards purples as well, as you guys know. So look at those shades. I really love dark bronze. Like, that's a beautiful shade. So next we have light pewter, which is what I have on my eyelids today. Then we have Medallion, which is the pain in the butt culprit. That has a ton of fallout. It's really chunky. It kind of gets hard pan as well, and it's just annoying. But it's a beautiful shade. It's just kind of high maintenance. So it's definitely the kind of the bad one of the bunch, but it's still beautiful. And then we have Almond Pearl, which is so satiny. And then the last one is light gold. So let me show you those four together. So these are probably my favorite shadows in the whole palette. They are just so pretty and neutral and champagne and just so shiny and sparkly, and they are just so gorgeous. So now let me show you up close what I have on my eyes. Like I said, I went in with the shade Canvas to set everything. I went in with Terracotta in the crease as my transition shade, and then I went in with that light pewter all over the eyelid, and then I used some MAC Fix Plus to layer it. And then I used Almond Pearl in the inner corner of my eye, and then on the outer corner I used dark brown and Cool Taupe in the slightest bit of black. And then for the lower lash line, I used clay and Cool Taupe together to kind of smoke out the lower lash line. But it just looks so gorgeous together. I love the way it looks. I just think it's really pretty, and there's so many looks you can do with it. You can make it really subtle. You can make it really smoky. You can make it darker, kind of like I did. It's just, there's so many different things you can do with it, and this palette is just stunning. Alright guys, so that was some swatches of the new LORAC Pro 3 palette, and then I let you guys know what is on my eyes right now and what shades that I use. But I definitely want to do a makeup tutorial for you guys, or an eye tutorial on a look using this palette. Let me know if there's a certain shade in here you definitely want me to use, or let me know if you want me to do an eye look on the actual look that I have on today. I love the way it turned out. I think it's so pretty and gorgeous, and it lasts a really long time. If I didn't mention, these have incredible wear time. They last easily like 8, 10, 12 hours depending on what primer you use. This is also a really great palette in the sense that you don't have to use like a glitter glue all the time with it. You can use a glitter glue if you want to make it more intense. But overall, any kind of eyeshadow primer is going to work really well with this, whether it's LORAC, Too Faced, MAC Paint Pot, you name it. Anything can work with this, and it has a really incredibly awesome wear time, which is one of the things I love about these palettes is they have an amazing wear time, amazing pigmentation, the silkiest eyeshadows you're ever going to use. Not a ton of fallout except for the couple bad ones that I told you that they're still beautiful. They just take a little more effort to use that shade, and you just cannot go wrong with this palette. This might be my favorite palette so far in 2016, which is really hard because the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette came out, which I will do a review later today that will be releasing, but I love both palettes so much. And I was leaning towards the ABH one, but I don't know. I just love everything about this. The colors in here, the versatility, the actual packaging, everything about it is A+. Like, you cannot go wrong with this palette. If you're interested, I would definitely get your hands on it when it releases on June 12th, because I think this is going to be a very, very hot item. And I'm hoping it's going to be like the Urban Decay Naked palette, like a huge cult popular favorite, because I can't say good enough things about it. I love this palette so much, and I will definitely be putting this in Shop My Stash a ton and doing lots of eye looks for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review and swatches and a little comparison between all the LORAC palettes. I will leave all the information on this palette below because I'm sure I forgot to mention it's $44 and just, you know, when you can buy it and where and things like that. I will leave all that info down below in case I missed anything. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review and swatches. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned to all my upcoming videos, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!